Hello, and welcome to day 16. Today we're going to talk about the numerous ways your brain tries to deceive you. Because even when your brain's working properly, it still messes with your memory, jumps at shadows, and is terrified of things that are usually pretty harmless. Because the brain is a very self-protective organ. It loves to believe that you're the hero of your own story. And this makes sense from an evolutionary perspective because in order to get out of the cave and go search in dangerous territory, you had to think you were pretty awesome. So the confidence that comes from this self-serving bias, as psychologists call it, is that we always think we're in the right. And it kind of encourages us to kind of distort reality to fit our own narrative, to kind of think that we're the best and others are a little less than. This is one reason why 80% of people think they're better looking than average, and everyone thinks they're a better driver than average. This is to protect our own ego, to kind of make sure that we stand on the top. But this doesn't help us see reality clearly and kind of can affect our ability to kind of have good social interactions and our ability to problem solve. Because when our vision is fogged like this, we tend to avoid responsibility and uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable feelings. Because these thinking areas keep us kind of trapped and keep us hidden away from what will help us grow. So we need to kind of understand, identify, analyze, and change those thinking areas that are kind of causing us some trouble. One way to start doing that is to kind of focus on, in your own head, kind of there being a little person in there, or what I like to call a witnessing presence. And that witnessing presence gets to decide which thoughts come in and which thoughts don't. I like to think of that little person as standing on a platform, a train platform, and they have all these trains of thought running past them. And if they're distracted and worried or stressed out, they'll jump on the closest train and just go wherever that train is taking them. It might not be exactly where they want to go. So try to sit down, take a seat, relax, and try to choose which train you go on, to try to choose which way you want your life to go. I think yogis understand this pretty well because they have different positions, or asanas as they call them, which stands for seat. They have these different seats, but a seat for what? A seat for your conscious brain to kind of sit down, relax, and then decide which train it wants to get on. So take a hint from the yogis and try to relax, sit down, and kind of identify those thinking areas that aren't working best to your benefit. So for today's self-reflection, we're going to look at these kind of different thought patterns that are keeping us in the dark and keeping us from having an optimal life and optimal social life. That's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.